What up, Biscuits? It's your boy, Biscuit Benny, and today we're doing our first project on the 2017 Honda CBR1000RR. This is the official Biscuit Benny CBR. What we're doing is we're going to replace the stock windshield with a zero-gravity double bubble windshield, and I'll show you how to do that. I think a lot of you guys who have these bikes are going to want to do these modifications, so let's check it out. So first we're going to start with an unboxing. This is fresh from the factory. I have no idea if I'm gonna like it. ZeroGravity, world-class windscreens. First thing you want to do, obviously, is make sure that the windscreen that you bought is for your bike, because you'd feel real dumb if you went and unwrapped this and it wasn't for your bike. You can see it says CBR1000 2017 DS. Now, obviously, you'll want to be careful that you don't scratch this windshield. The nice thing about these windshields actually is that you can buff out any scratches that accumulate with just a buffing compound. However, if we can avoid the work, let's avoid the work. That's why it comes wrapped in this, so that you don't scratch it. So let's keep that somewhere safe while we get off the original windscreen. So to take off the windshield, you're gonna need 3mm hex bits. They kind of look like this, and that's it's held on by 4 of these screws you can see up there. So we're gonna actually start over here, and we're gonna remove this first bolt. It's very easy. When we put these back in, we're gonna use low torque because we don't want to strip anything. This is some serious Biscuit Benny surgery that we're doing here. Steady hands from years of motorcycle medical school, so to speak. All right, and then we'll start with the second set. So kind of be careful when you're taking this thing off, because you don't want to scratch it. It is the stock windscreen. Pull it loose. And then just kind of gently yeet it out of there. There you go. And again, set this somewhere where it won't get damaged. Now, one thing to see here is that you need to carry over these plastic grommets that come with the original windscreen, and the ones at the front as well. It's always good to take these and sort of set them on top of each other to make sure they really are interchangeable. This looks like it lines up pretty well. So yeah, I guess ZeroGravity does know what they're doing. So we start by pulling these boys off, which you just kind of have to squeeze one side of the flange to pull that off like that. Same thing on this side. Squeeze the flange back, pull it through, and out it pops. On the front, these are much stiffer, so you gotta be careful not to rip these. But you just kind of scrunch up the flange, and then it'll come right out like that. And then set your stock windshield aside, because you might decide to put that back on. Now remember, these big boys go up here in the front. Doesn't matter which way you flip it, it's the same on both sides, just as an FYI. You start by pushing those grommets in. Same thing on this side. And then, same thing here. On this side, you can see there's actually a screw bushing on the inside, and that's the part that you want to make sure is facing down relative to your motorcycle. When you go to install it, make sure that it goes in flange side first. You can try the same trick from before, where you kind of scrunch up the flange of the rubber to get it through. Give it a couple of twists, get the other side in, and eventually you'll figure out how to work this thing in there. There we go, there's one side. Do the same on the other side. And there you go. Now that you've got it firmly in your hand, you can remove the rest of this protective plastic. Yeah, while we're in here, we might as well just clean off the old dash. Oh yeah, that looks good. CBR, you know what you're doing. So I'll come back over here. So you want to start by inserting the windshield, lining it up. And then you can kind of pull back this fairing and then line that tab up and do the same on the other side. It's a little tricky and it uses a little bit of force, so just be gentle. There we go. And then you line up these bolts by pulling up the fairing, sliding that in there. Do the same on the other side. And there we go. Now we just put the bolts back in. Now remember, because these are going into a plastic and rubber bushing, you want to be kind of gentle with the torque. Just go till it feels about wrist tight. After that, you are done. Once you're done, you can give it a nice little wipe down. That looks beautiful. Also, these warnings, you can just rip them off. And then get rid of that little box, and bam, zero gravity, look what you've done. Woo! That looks pretty good on the CBR1000RR. Beautiful replacement. Biscuits, if you want to do other work like this on your bike, just let me know what you want to see. It's pretty easy to do. A lot of times, all it takes is just a little bit of elbow grease and figuring out what you want to make your bike look like. Always keep the stock parts because you never know. Sometimes it's very helpful to have the stock pieces. It's always a good day when FedEx shows up, getting new car parts. They don't even put it in a box, huh? Nah. Thank you. That is ridiculous. They didn't even put it in a box, dude. All right, Biscuits, let me know what you think of this new upgrade to the CBR in the comments down below. If you want to see more of this, just click the bell notification icon, subscribe to all, and like the video. Leave some comments, it helps me out. Really like to know what you guys think, and we'll keep these coming. And until next time,